Yes, thought I'd do another video. I ain't done a video for a couple of weeks, so I thought I'd have a little, recap of the boxing events that have been happening recently. A little roundup video. So what's been happening since the last time I did a video in boxing? What's been happening? Yeah, Dubois quit, didn't he? He fucking pussied out, didn't he? Dubois, he fucking took a knee, didn't he? He quit. People have been messaging me saying, has Dubois taken the title as the new black quitter? And he probably has, He probably has, but I don't really want to give him that title, and let O'Hara Davis off the hook. You know what I mean? Because, if you compare the two of them, the black quitter, O'Hara Davis, he quit because he had a blocked nose. That's not forgivable, is it? That's not a good enough reason, Why don't you breathe out your fucking mouth then? Oh, I can't breathe out my nose. Well, breathe out your fucking mouth. So that's not a good enough reason, is it, to quit in a fight like that because he had a blocked nose. But Dubois, he could have gone fucking blind, like Gerald McLennan. So I think he did the right thing, Dubois. Do you know what I mean? Gerald McLennan's blind as fuck. His sister's trying to raise funds for him, on the internet. To pay for his care, his medical treatment. So he's proper fucked, innit, Gerald McLennan. Because he's blind and he's fucked. So I think Dubois did the right thing, Fuck boxing, it's just a win on box rec, innit? Your eyes are important. Your eyes are more important than a fucking win on box rec. So I think Dubois did the right thing, but he did quit, didn't he? I think he should have tried to get to the end of the round. He should have ran around the ring, like Joshua did against Ruiz. I think fucking Dubois, he should have tried to do that, just to get to the end of the round. And then at the end of the round, he should have said to his trainers, stop this fight. But pretend that I didn't say that to you. Don't say that I told you to stop the fight, just stop the fight. Because then he would have got a lot more credit, wouldn't he? People would have said, yeah, it's his corner who stopped the fight. He would have gone out on his shield, he's a warrior, he's a tough guy. If his corner stopped the fight. So he should have tried to run around the ring, like Joshua did against Ruiz to get to the end of the round. And he said to his corner, stop this fight. But just pretend that I didn't say that to you. And try and act like it was your decision. So I don't get slandered. I don't think Dubois is that good defensively, is he? He's not really good at defense. These guys, they need to watch Mayweather, man. That fancy shoulder block. They need to study Mayweather. They need to learn how to fucking defend, man. You know what I mean? I didn't do shit in boxing, but that's because I got into alcohol, and pussy. Like Coogan. So I started to fuck up, in fucking boxing when I got into alcohol and pussy like Coogan. But Coogan, he can get away with drinking alcohol and fucking loads of women and getting loads of women pregnant. Because he's just some dosser, innit, who holds a camera. So he can get away with living like that, banging women, getting them pregnant, drinking alcohol. Because he's just a dosser with a camera, innit? Doing brutally honest interviews. Brutally honest. He likes that fucking title, don't he, Coogan? Brutally honest. Yeah, that's the same night, innit? I just realised that he's got the same top on, in both pictures. How many women does he need, man, in one night? Fucking hell. Posse and views, man. How many women does he need in the same night? Fucking Cesaro was right, wasn't he? He wants the whole pie. He wants all these women. He wants all the views. He wants all the money. Fucking hell. Posse and views. How many fucking women does he need to get pregnant, man? You're already having a fucking daughter. So how many more women do you need, man? He does want the whole pie, don't he? Cesaro was right, wasn't he? Cesaro. He was fucking right about Cougar money, Cesaro. Fuck you know, look at that. Yeah, do you think Cougar was glad that Heavy D died? He probably was, wasn't he? He was probably glad he died, you know, Cougar, because like Heavy D put it on Cougar, you know, and offered him out and said he wanted to fucking fight him. But Cougar didn't really respond. So he kind of pussied out, didn't he, Cougar? He didn't fucking want that Heavy D smoke. And he kind of pussied out, you know, and he didn't like accept Heavy D's offer, you know, for a fight. He didn't want it, did he, Cougar? So I bet Cougar's glad he fucking died, didn't he? You know, so he didn't have to fucking deal with Heavy D putting it on him. He was probably glad when he Cougar. He pussied out, didn't he, Cougar? And he didn't want it, did he? He pussied out, you know, like Daniel Dubois. But yeah, what do you think of Dubois? Do you think he's got what it takes, you know, to get to the top level? You know what I mean? Do you think he's got it mentally? I don't know if he's got it mentally, do you know what I mean? You know, if he got to the top and he boxed someone like Tyson Fury would fuck his head up mentally, wouldn't he? Tyson Fury would fuck him up psychologically, you know, and really get into his head. You know what I mean? He's not on that level, is he, at all, Daniel Dubois? You know, if fucking Daniel Dubois got hit by Deontay Wilder like that, I don't think he'd get up. I think he'd just say, you know what? I'm going to lay down and just fuck it off. I'm not going to get up. I'm just going to lay down, you know, to be safe. But you know, the Gypsy King, he fucking got up, didn't he? And he fucked up Deontay Wilder. You know, and then he fucked him up in the rematch as well. So, you know, Tyson Fury's got that mental strength. But I don't know if Dubois got it. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it's alright him getting a new trainer, you know, to help him with his head movement and, you know, help him avoid a jab and get a new strength and conditioner and get a bit fit. But, you know, if you haven't got that heart, you haven't got it, have you? You know, a trainer can't give you heart, can he? You know, some fighters just haven't got it, have they? But some fighters, you know, they're made of different minerals. You know, like the Contradiction Froch. You know, he was a tough guy, wasn't he? He was like a tough guy, you know, a tough warrior, a gladiator. He had that heart, didn't he, the Contradiction Froch. Like, you know, when Kell Brook boxed Crawford. You know, before the fight, you know, before he went out to America to box Crawford. Kell got interviewed by Umar, IFL Umar. You know, and you know how Umar, he's a little shit stirrer, innit? You know, he likes to fucking cause a lot of shit. He likes to shit stir, don't he? You know, cause a lot of trouble. So Umar, IFL Umar said to Kell, yeah, Kell, you know, Carl Froch, he said that your fight with Crawford is just a cash out fight. Yeah, Carl Froch said that you're only taking this fight to cash out, you know, and make money for your retirement. You know, you're taking this fight, even though you probably know you're going to lose. You're taking this fight for money, you know, it's like a cash out fight. That's what Carl Froch said, Kell. You know, we like shit stirring. You know, you don't think you're going to win, but you're just taking this fight, you know, to cash out, you know, and make that money before you retire on a loss to Terence Crawford. That's pretty much what he was saying, wasn't it? Umar, IFL Umar. And then Kell said, you know, Carl Froch, you know, he's had a new nose job, hasn't he? So I think that new nose job is like fucking up his senses. And it's causing him to talk a load of crap. You know, but then he said, but, you know, Carl Froch, you can't really diss him, you know, in terms of boxing. You know, he's a warrior, isn't he? And he is, isn't he, Carl Froch? You know, he's a bit daft nowadays, isn't he? You know, doing these little silly dancing competitions on the telly. You know, he's a bit fucking daft now, ain't he, Carl Froch? You know, he's kind of gone downhill, hasn't he? It's a bit sad to see how he's ended up. You know, with all this flat earth bullshit. But, you know, when he was boxing, like, you couldn't fault him, could you? 4-time world champion, you know, tough warrior, gladiator. You know, he was getting schooled by Jermaine Taylor, but he just stuck with it and shown that heart and courage and guts. You know, and then he fucked up Jermaine Taylor, didn't he? The contradiction frotch. So he's got that heart, hasn't he? Like, you remember Julian Jackson when he fucked up Harold Graham? You know, the referee was about to stop that fight, you know, because Julian Jackson's eye was fucked up. You know, but Julian Jackson thought, fuck that, I'm not going to quit. You know, I can't stop, I've got to fuck him up, I've got to do him in. And he did, didn't he? He fucked up Harold Graham, you know, smacked him up. You know, knocked him out before he even hit the ground. So, you know, Julian Jackson, you have to rate him, don't you? But, you know, Dubois, I just don't think he's got it. I don't think he's got it mentally. You know, your trainer can't give you a heart. He can teach you how to throw a jab, but he can't teach your heart, can he? So I don't think he's got it as a Dubois. Yeah, some people are saying that Dubois is like the new Frank Bruno. What do you think of that? Who do you think should be most offended by that? Frank Bruno or Daniel Dubois? Because, like, you know, Frank Bruno, he won a world title, didn't he? He won a world heavyweight title. But, you know, because he then started dressing up in these little silly fucking pantomime costumes, you know, it kind of like tarnished his world title victory, didn't it? So I don't know who should be most offended, you know, by fucking people saying that Dubois is the new Frank Bruno. Because at least he won a world title, Frank Bruno. And like when he got fucked up by Mike Tyson, you know, he got fucked up on his feet, and he went out on his feet. He didn't take a knee, you know, to try and get away from those punches from Mike Tyson. And like Mike Tyson was like fresh out of prison, you know, after falsely being accused of rape. So Mike Tyson, you know, he had all that fucking aggression in him, didn't he? He had that built-up aggression, you know, after falsely being accused of rape. So he took it out on Frank Bruno. But Frank Bruno, he just took it, didn't he? He didn't take a knee like Dubois. So I think, you know, calling Dubois the new Frank Bruno, I think it's a bit disrespectful to Frank Bruno, you know. Even though he used to dress up in these little silly costumes. You know, that was a bit fucking tacky, wasn't it? A bit cringe, you know, all that pantomime shit. He's behind you. You know, all that fucking pantomime bullshit. It's a bit cringe, innit? It's a bit tacky. It's a bit cringe, innit? You know, like fucking lions in the camp. Lions in the camp. Do you know what I mean? Fucking Anthony Yard lost, didn't he? You know, he got fucked up, didn't he? And fucking Tondi kept shouting, lions in the camp, yeah, empty the tank. You know, what kind of stupid advice is that from a trainer to give to his boxer who's getting fucked up? He did the same when he fought Kovalev, didn't he? He just kept shouting, lions in the camp, yeah, empty the tank, yeah, empty the tank. Come on, champ. You can do it, champ. Come on, lions in the camp. You know what I mean? He's giving all this stupid advice. You know, instead of giving like technical advice to his fighter who was getting fucked up. You know, like, yeah, grab hold of him. You know, use your feet to fucking move around. Yeah. Like Joshua did against Ruiz. Move around. Fucking take a knee, you know, to get a little break and hold him, you know. He wasn't saying any of that, was he, Tondi? He just kept shouting lions in the camp. You know, he's a fucking shit trainer, isn't he, that Tondi? He's no good, man. He needs to get rid of him, man. But we said this when he fucking boxed Kovalev. You know, we said back then that he needs to get rid of this fucking Tondi guy. He's no good, is he? Do you know what I mean? Those two are too pally-pally with each other, aren't they? They're too pally-pally. You know, it shouldn't be like that, should it? You know, like, it should be like teacher and student. They should have that kind of relationship. But, you know, those two, they're too pally-pally with each other, aren't they? You know, they probably go clubbing and fucking trying to pick up drunken slugs and have a threesome with them. And, you know, and they probably drive around together, don't they, on a Saturday night, you know, listening to gangster rap. You know, smoking weed and all that, trying to pick up women. They're fucking too pally-pally, aren't they? Like, you'll never ever see Robert McCracken you know, in a nightclub with Joshua, drunk, you know, trying to pick up a drunken slag to have a threesome with her. You know, it wouldn't happen, would it? Robert McCracken's a classy guy, respectable. He's a classy guy, isn't he, Robert McCracken? But you know, this fucking Tondi guy, he's no good, is he? He's no good, man. Lions in the camp. You know, he's got nothing of interest to say, has he? He's just yapping and yapping and yapping all the time, isn't he? You know, going on and on and on like Kawasaki. He's like that fucking Kawasaki, isn't he? Just going on and on and on. He's fucking like that, isn't he, Tondi? He's just yapping away all the time. Lions in the camp. Yeah, come on, champ. Empty the tank. He's fucking no good, is he? You know, he tries to like take pads, you know, like Roger Mayweather did with Floyd Mayweather. You know, he's trying to be all fucking flashy like that, you know, trying to be like that, but he's not a good trainer at all, is he? Anthony Yarde needs to fuck him off, man. Lions in the camp. You know, Mayweather, he said in an interview, you know, that he used to see like fighters having wars in the gym, you know, and ending up punch drunk. Floyd Mayweather said that boxing really affected Roger Mayweather. And Floyd Mayweather said that, you know, Roger, before he died, he used to walk along the motorway, you know, for miles and miles, you know, like just completely lost in life. He didn't know what the fuck he was doing or where he was heading. He used to just walk for miles and miles, hours and hours, you know, down the motorway with fucking speeding cars nearly hitting him. So Mayweather Jr. said that that's what fucking boxing did to Roger Mayweather, you know, proper fucked him up. So Mayweather perfected his defensive skills, you know, seeing his fucking Uncle Roger and his dad getting fucked up, having wars in the gym. So these fighters like Dubois, they need to watch Mayweather, man, and like try and practice, you know, and try and fucking mimic. Obviously, you're not going to be as good as Mayweather, are you? But at least fucking try. You know, that fucking Joshua, he added a bit of footwork to his game, didn't he? After he got fucked up by Ruiz. So I think Dubois, he needs to like try and like add something else to his game other than fucking up a load of Polish shit journeyman fighters that he was used to fucking up. He needs to practice defense, don't he, Dubois? Some fighters aren't good at like defense. They're not good on the back foot, are they? You know, like Mike Tyson, you know, when Holyfield was fucking him up. He didn't know what to do, did he? Going backwards, Mike Tyson. You know, because he was so used to fucking people up. He didn't know what to do, you know, when his opponent was going forward and putting it on him. He didn't know what to do, did he? So he bit Holyfield's ear, you know, because he was a bit like lost. He was a bit out of his depth, you know what I mean? You know, it's the same with Joe Frazier, you know, when he tried to run off from George Foreman and George Foreman fucked him up. He didn't know how to fight on the back foot, did he, Joe Frazier? So he like tried to run off and then fucking Foreman fucked him up, you know, and smacked him up. Yeah, you know George Foreman, he's got about 12 kids and he's called them all George. That's a bit fucking daft, innit? You know, calling all of his kids George, it's a bit fucking stupid, innit? Because like, you know, when he's shouting his kids, you know, they're not going to know who he's talking to. So it's a bit impractical, innit? It's a bit dumb. You know, calling them all George, it's a bit illogical, innit? It's impractical. You know, George Foreman, I was looking at his net worth today, you know, on the internet. And it says his net worth is $300 million. You know, from selling those fancy George Foreman grills. So he's obviously got something about him, man. He's obviously got a certain amount of fucking common sense and logic. So, you know, calling all of his kids George is such a stupid thing to do, isn't it? So dumb and impractical and illogical. You know, it's a dumb move, in it, from George Foreman. But he cashed in with those grills, didn't he? He cashed in, you know, after boxing. He probably made more money after boxing than when he was boxing. You know, he's cashing in, innit? You know, like Mayweather against Logan Paul. Mayweather's cashing in, innit? What do you think of that fight there? It's a bit daft, innit? But I'm all for it, man. I'm telling you, I'm looking forward to it. I like these kind of fights. Mayweather, McGregor, Mayweather, Big Show. You know, and now Mayweather, Logan Paul. I'm all for it. Because, like, you remember when Mayweather boxed Pacquiao? You know, that fight was so boring, wasn't it? That was so boring to see. I remember watching that in a bar, yeah. And the bar was, like, packed out with people, you know, like, staring at the screens, you know, really excited to see the fight. And, like, every round that went by, you could just sense the atmosphere just dying, you know, and just people losing interest round after round after round. You know, and it was a bit of an anti-climax, wasn't it? You know, you can't fucking blame Mayweather, you know, he won, he got paid a shitload of money, so you can't really fucking blame him. You can't really have a go at him, can you? But it was just boring, wasn't it? And these two are two boxing pound for pound greats, you know, in their day. You know, two Hall of Famers. And that was boring, man. So I'm all for these, like, silly fights. I'm all for it. You know, some people are saying, oh, you know, if Logan Paul lands an uppercut like Conor McGregor, you know, because he's a lot bigger than Mayweather, he'll knock Mayweather out. It's not going to happen, man. It's not going to happen. You know, McGregor, he's a good puncher. You know, he's knocked out a load of people, you know, in the UFC with punches. But that Logan Paul, he's just a wrestler, innit? Stroke YouTuber. So I don't think he lands a punch, you know. I've seen him fighting, you know, like, you know, I remember when he boxed KSI, you know, and he was just swinging wildly. So I don't think he'll be able to land punches like that on Mayweather. So the size advantage that he's got, it's not going to benefit him at all. Mayweather's going to fuck him up. You know, I've heard some boxing people saying, oh, I'm not watching that. That's fucking ridiculous. I'm not watching that. If you can sit down and watch Shannon Conti beat up some fucking Polish woman who we've never heard of, some MMA fighter, then you can watch Mayweather fight whoever he's fighting. If you're happy to sit down and watch Shannon Conti box. You know, and like MMA fighters, you know, like Khabib, you know, Khabib's the real deal, innit? You know, in the streets and in the octagon, he's the real deal, Khabib. But you know, in boxing, you know, if he was British, I don't even think he'd win a British title in boxing. Even though he's the real deal, you know, in the streets where it counts. So these MMA fighters, they don't really do well in boxing, do they? So, you know, this Shannon Conti beating up this little Polish MMA fighter who we've never heard of. You know, it's no good, is it? I can't be dealing with her at all. It's so irritating. I can't be dealing with her. You know, she's trying to wear these sexy knickers, you know, at the weigh-in, you know, trying to look like that nice, sexy Ebony Bridges. You know, that's what she said, didn't she? That Australian woman. You know, she's saying that Shannon Conti's trying to look like her. Because Shannon Conti, you know, she was wearing those silly granddad pants, you know, back in the day. But then when that fucking nice, sexy Ebony Bridges came on the scene, you know, with her fancy, sexy knickers, you know, at the weigh-in, that Shannon Conti, he's trying to, like, be on her level, isn't she? You're not on her fucking level, man. It's all about levels. Shannon Conti's not that nice. She used to be a little fat cunt working in the pub. You know, with her silly fucking pants, her grandad pants. But because Coogan started liking all her pictures and interviewing her, she started to get a bit cocky. So now she's wearing these little knickers, trying to look like that fucking Australian woman, Ebony Bridges. She ain't all that. Shannon Conti. She ain't all that at all, man. She's like saying, yeah, I'm back with a bang. You're not back with a bang. You know when fighters lose to an opponent and then they come back and they beat up some little nobody and they say, yeah, I'm back. Yeah, I'm back. It's good to be back. Yeah, I'm back with a bang. Yeah, you're not back. You haven't beat the fucking person who beat you. Do you know what I mean? You beat up a little nobody. So why are you acting like you're back with a bang? You're back stronger than ever. You're not. Beat the fucking person who beat you. And then you can say you're back. I don't get these fucking boxers who get beaten and they fucking come back and beat a little nobody who's nowhere near as good as the person they lost to. And then they say, yeah, it feels good to be back. Yeah, I'm back stronger than ever. Yeah, you're not, man. You're not. You're not until you beat the fucking person who beat you. You know, someone's dug up her old tweets, you know, of her being really snidey and slagging people off and being racist and dissing Muslims, you know, like Carl Froch. So I'm going to do a separate video on that, I think. I told you, man, she's horrible, man. Horrible. Talking about she's back with a bang. You're not. Not until you beat the woman who beat you. It's a bit like Joshua Ruiz, isn't it? You know, Joshua acting like he's got one over on Ruiz. You know, because he beat him in the rematch. But, you know, if you compare both of the fights, you know, Ruiz looked more impressive, didn't he? Ruiz got the stoppage victory and then lost on points. Joshua got stopped. He got knocked down about 6 times. And then he ran around the ring, you know, in the rematch. So when you look at it, Ruiz is more impressive, you know, over the 2 fights than Joshua is. But Joshua's acting like he's got the edge, you know, like he's got one over on Ruiz. He hasn't, has he? I want to see what Ruiz has got left, do you know what I mean? He's probably still got something left. You know, I want to see him fight that Beyonce Wilder. That'll be a good fight, won't it? You know, none of those two will run around the ring, will they? You know, they'll just stand there and have a fight, won't they? You know, slog it out. That'd be quite good to see, won't it? But yeah, that'll do, you know. I need to wrap this video up. You know, I've got a few more videos to do. I need to do a video on Joshua Pulev. So I'm going to wrap this video up. But yeah, thanks for watching again, yeah? Thanks for that.